Today we get a story of when a love for anime is simply taken way too far. Subscribe if you like stories. Let's call today's subscriber Teddy. So this all happened when Teddy was in 7th grade, and Teddy's class was about like 40 or 50 people, so it was relatively large, and he just didn't know a lot of people in the classroom, and it was kind of like a thing where people just didn't know each other, and the teacher was kind of starting to notice that, so the teacher wanted to have more activities where people would like kind of mix up and talk to each other. And this was an English class, and so they had been writing a little bit of a paper. It was about on like whatever you wanted to write about, right? It was one of those, it was more focused on like, let's work on some grammar techniques. Let's work on writing really efficiently and clearly and like cleanly, and let's work on good writing. So literally write about whatever you want. These are my favorite back in the day because I would write about whatever niche, obscure topic I was currently obsessed with, and I would have some pretty bad grammar, but that was just a constant in life for me at the time. But anyways, right, so Teddy is sitting there. He was writing about, I don't know, model trains, let's say, and Teddy did love his model trains. And so sure enough, right, Teddy was sitting there. He had his paper with model trains, and the teacher is like, all right, so I put all of your names in a random number generator. So once I read out your name and a number, please go to the table that has that assigned number. You will have one partner. You guys will switch papers, and then you will talk about it afterwards. So Teddy's like, all right, well, that sounds pretty good. And he's sitting there, and he notices that his table actually has a number on it already. And you're kind of just allowed to sit wherever in this guy's class normally. So this was like table 7 or something. I don't really know. And so sure enough, this teacher started reading out names. This was kind of a long and tedious activity. So Teddy was like, all right, so he's probably not going to do it like this again. But anyways, eventually, Teddy hears his name, like table 24, and then he hears like a random girl's name. So we're just going to call her Anime Girl because obviously by the title of the video, Anime Girl works kind of fine. No disrespect if you like anime. In fact, I enjoy myself a little bit of, actually, funny enough, I'm a big fan of Deathnote. I just don't really like a lot of anime because I'm not a big, like, violence guy and TV and stuff. And I decided to, flip on Tokyo Ghoul because I was like, I really like the intro music, and I kind of listened to it for about a year beforehand, being like, I really like this. And within the first scene, some guy gets like torn to shreds. I'm like, all right, man, this is not for me. But anyways, right. So the Anime Girl and Teddy at this point, and remember, Teddy doesn't know this girl, so he doesn't think of her as weird or anything. They sit down, and she's got this like black hoodie on. Black hoodies are sick. It's not a dig or anything. I'm just trying to describe the scene accurately. She's got this like black hoodie on, and she's sitting there, and she's not making eye contact, which fair enough, right? Teddy didn't really want to be there either, so he got it. He's like, hey, my name's Teddy. What's yours? And she kind of looks up at him and looks down, and he's like, okay, this is going to be fun. And so sure enough, the teacher's like, all right, hand over your papers or whatever. And, Teddy hands over his paper, and then she hands over her paper. And it was very weird. And it was a very weird paper, and I will read it to you, and you will learn, and you will understand why it's so weird. To whoever read... Okay, I'm going to read it out loud. Sorry for going into the voice without any context. So this is how it reads. To whoever reads this, just so you know, you have been cursed by Sandra. Let's just call her name Sandra. I'm going to call her Anime Girl from here on out, though, but I wanted it to be a name. You have been cursed by Sandra, and she is currently writing your name in her death note. This means that to her discretion, she will choose how and at what time you will die. So just a little context, there's an extremely popular anime series called Deathnote, and basically, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a book that's dropped by one of the Shinigamis, which is the devil type things, and they drop a book, and basically if you write the name of a person and the way you want them to die, and you picture them in your head, they will die the way that you write it down, or within 40 seconds they suffer a heart attack. I'm not going to give you the whole anime lore or whatever, but that's basically what you need to know. So basically, right, Teddy's reading this, he's like, bro, like this is a little strange. I'm not going to lie right now. This is a little weird. And he keeps reading it, and the thing is, right, the paper had to be 2 pages long. And 2 pages long, man, that's a lot of words. I mean, that's a good, 6 paragraphs. That's got to be 6, 7, 8, 900 words right there, maybe. If you're doing it maybe single space, but it could be double space. So it's probably 600 or so. And, Teddy was looking at this, and this was one paragraph. And the paragraph finished up by saying, like, if you look up, you will see Sandra writing your name in the Death Note. Like, please spend your last minutes on Earth wisely. Okay, doesn't make it's not like saying in parentheses, spooky ghost noises. But sure enough, right, Teddy looks up and he looks at Sandra, or I'm just gonna, you know what, let's call her Sandra. If I say anime girl or Sandra, I'm talking about the same person. So Teddy looks up at Sandra, and she like kind of looks up at him and has like the weirdest freaking smile, bro. And like okay, so like one of the main characters, L, is that a spoiler? I don't think so. He sits like this. And for anyone just listening audio, I just showed a photo of some guy like squatting in their seat or whatever. And she was basically doing that, and she was looking at Teddy with the weirdest look, and Teddy kind of looks up and is like, so have you finished reading mine? She's like, kind of like responds, like not actually responding. And Teddy's like, all right, well, I can go first. And so sure enough, right, she's like, kind of gets this smile. And Teddy's like, oh my God, out of all the like 40 or 50 people in my class, of course, I got this, like, I randomly, thank you, random chance and probability. You're always out to get me. Statistically not true, but whatever. Of course I get this girl, but whatever, right? It's water under the bridge. And he's like, all right, well, I thought yours was very interesting. I'm not sure I know what a Death Note is. I'm also not sure if this meets the word limit or is even close. And I'm not sure if I totally understand what's going on. And there are like 2 periods where there should be at least 5, and there's no capitalization, and you misspelled a third of the words, and it's shit. Okay, he doesn't say it's bad or anything, but he's like, I don't think I get it. And she's like, you don't need to get it. All you need to know. And she reaches into her backpack and she whips out this big black book that says Death Note on it. Basically, it's like a replica Death Note from the TV show that you can buy online. And she opens it up, and Teddy sees all these freaking names in there. And he's like, what? And she looks at him and writes down his name with a pen and says, name, Teddy, last name. It says his actual last name. Teddy's like, how does she know my name? That's really creepy. Besides, like, last name too. And then she's like, cause of death, head explosion. And Teddy's like, bruh, what? And then she's like, time of death, now! And slams the Death Note and looks at him all scarily. And Teddy's like, okay. I didn't know that there was like a theater part to this, but that's cool. That's pretty cool. Real quick, comment anime down below if you want to harden your comment. That's the secret word of the day, anime. And also, if you want to support the channel, go binge watch more videos after this. Thank you. Anyways, I'm just getting back to the story. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it short. Anyways, right. So Teddy's like, all right, very cool, Sandra. This is a great... No, this really isn't... Sandra, you're gonna fail. And Teddy, like, legitimately looks at her and is like, I'm trying to help you. I don't know you. You've been nothing but weird to me. But you're going to fail this. Like, I need you to know. Like, first of all, the teacher just said, write 2 pages about whatever you wanted. There's no, like, extra theatrics or whatever. And while he's saying this, Sandra's, like, frantically, like, writing more stuff in the Death Note. And Teddy's like, Sandra, are you paying attention? She says, no. I must have misspelled your name or something, or not pictured you perfectly, because your head didn't explode. And Teddy was like, Sandra, I don't think I get this. So this is where things continued to get even stranger and more weird. So the teacher was walking around and checking the pairs to make sure that, people were keeping up to what they're supposed to be doing, and that they were, I don't know, talking to each other, and that things were going smoothly. And he was smiling, and he had his hands behind his back, old man style. I've caught myself doing that sometimes. I'm like, oh no, I'm turning. I'm an old man now. No, actually, it sounds pretty nice. But anyways, right, besides like the pain and stuff, he starts walking around, and he's just like, kind of stops in he stops in his trail, his like little step. He's like, wait a minute. And he turns around, and he looks at Teddy and Sandra, and he notices that, there's a paper on the table that just has one little measly paragraph. And he walks over. He's like, hey, Teddy and Sandra, how are you guys doing today? So I'm looking over here, and it looks like there's a paper that's not exactly where it should be by this point, guys. Like, and that's okay. I'd just like to know what's going on here. You know, kind of like that fake, happy, fake, everything is awesome teacher voice. Yeah, he was doing that. And, sure enough, Teddy looks up and is like, oh, yeah, that's Sandra. She got a more artistic idea of a more, I don't know, a more of a creative angle. Teddy was trying to save face for Sarah, who needed a ton of face saved right now. And so the teacher looks over and says, Sandra, can you explain this? And Sandra's like, no, read. And she points to the paper, and the teacher picks it up, right? And the teacher's reading this, and the teacher's like mumbling, okay, the owner of whoever reads this, has been cursed by Sandra, and she's currently writing your name in a death note. And the teacher looks up, and sure enough, right, Sandra has this like crazy look on her face, a big smile, big wide eyes, and she starts frantically writing down the name of the teacher in the death note, and is like, then she starts like laughing maniacally, and then she starts looking at the teacher and waits 45 seconds, and the teacher's like, Sandra, what's going on? Sandra, what's going on here? Sandra, I need a little report from you of just a little, what's going on up there? Like, what's going on right now? After 45 seconds, she's like, no, this book is defective. I've been scammed. And so Sandra kind of just goes quiet, and the teacher's like, what's that over there? And he picks up the thing that says Deathnote on it, and he's like, Deathnote? And he opens it up, and he sees a list of classmates, including, Teddy, including himself, and a bunch of other students at the school, and then how they would die. Like, that's just not a thing that, like, they're chill with, bro. They're not really chilling with that, I'll be honest. And the teacher's like, Sandra, what is this book? And she's like, it's defective. And he's like, I don't know what this is. Go to the principal's office, take your paper, and explain to her what happened. Teddy, you go too. I know you're not in trouble. She probably just needs help understanding. And Teddy's like, all right, because in Teddy's head, he's like, I mean, I don't want to be here, and this is mad interesting, so all right, bro, I'm chilling. And so sure enough, Teddy goes over to the principal's office, and Sandra is like creepily walking behind him, so he's kind of like starts to speed walk to the principal's office, and she starts to walk a little faster. He's like, and eventually gets to the principal's office, opens the door, it's like, after you, Sandra. She's like, if the death note worked, you'd be dead by now. And he's like, oh, so sweet, Sandra. What a nice friend you are, or whatever, right? And he walks in, and he explains to the principal what happened. Sandra is completely silent. And the principal is like, well, this seems like some sort of threat, and we can't take that. We have to take it seriously. You're going to be suspended for a week, and we're also starting an investigation. And Sandra just had, like, no expression on her face or whatever. Actually, no, she was, like, kind of pouting because her death note didn't work. Like, oh, no, the $5 replica thing that was only true in anime that I bought on Amazon didn't work. How is this true? I've been foiled.